We're in the hot spring town of Lagu, Iceland, where out of the volcanic muddy ground comes the most pristine rye bread. Everywhere you look in Iceland, there seems to be something bubbling, whether it's a geyser, a lagoon, and the geothermal bakery here is no different. But how do they cook the bread here without an oven? Let's go find out. In Iceland, we met with Siggi Ron Hilmarsson, General Manager at Lagu Fontana.
This is our main tool.
He followed in his grandmother's and mother's footsteps in this hot volcanic sand. This is his bakery, no matter the weather. The process starts with Siggi making the dough. He uses 4 cups of rye, 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So why is it that you use rye then?
Well, rye has been used in Iceland for decades. It's something that originally came from Denmark to Iceland, and then we add milk to this.
That's cow's milk?
Yeah, cow's milk. Yeah. The milk is from the area, from the cows in the area, and there is a company in Selfoss about 25 minutes away from here that produces it.
And you get this fresh every day?
Yeah. So it's really a local thing. The butter we use comes from the same company, same cows.
So what's the art to making this then, to stirring this up?
Yeah, just put love in it.
Love it. Yeah. This is your family recipe?
Yeah, this is the same recipe my grandmother and mother were using. If you go around the country, this is done in a few places. Some people use honey or syrup instead of sugar, but this is the way it has been done here, and I am just simply honoring the tradition.
So how will you know when this is done then?
It's supposed to look basically more or less like this. So I think we have a really good dough here.
When the dough is ready, he pours it in a tin lined with butter. Do you have to use a special tin for this?
It needs to be strong because, as you can see on the lid here, it's been banked quite heavily with a shovel, when we are digging it up. And the people use all kind of things to bake this bread here. You can even, there are some people that use empty Macintosh chocolate beer box, for this. But this pot works well for us. Stainless steel.
The dough is covered with a layer of baking paper, then wrapped in film.
Do this here. Just one circle like this, and then we put it on top.
Do you make this with your kids then?
The kids love this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how long will you bake this for?
24 hours.
24 hours. Wow.
24 hours in the ground. It's amazing if you bake it for shorter time, like 17, 18 hours. It usually doesn't turn out good. And if we bake it for too long, 25, 6, 7, 8 hours, it starts to compress. So the 24 is the magic. Oh. So we're good to go. Huh?
Goodness. Oh, it's actually quite heavy.
Yeah, and this is our main tool for this baking.
It's time to put our bread in its oven, aka the hot springs of the lake here in Lagu. The sand by the lake can host from 10 to 15 tins of bread. Siggi can either dig a completely new hole or reuse one from the day before.
It's good to make a good pile on top of it, just to make this isolation, Yeah.
Why do you pat it down like that?
To make it more beautiful.
You can't have ugly bread with this view, yeah.
And the mark. Voila. And we always mark the holes with a stone like this, so the other locals know that we are baking.
Yeah.
No matter how the weather is, the recipe is always the same. When we have a lot of rain and the snow melting from the mountains, this lake can rise up to meter and a half. Then this area here will all be underwater.
Oh, right.
So few times our breads have basically drowned.
Oh no,
yeah.
poor
it's
bread.
Like, it's over there.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And I mean, guessing that's not good to eat then.
Nah,
just start again. Yeah.
More like a bread soup or something. Yeah.
This one's been in for 24 hours.
Yeah. And you can see there's a lot of energy going on here.
Oh, wow. Wow, that is hot. How hot is that?
It's about boiling temperature, actually.
Wow.
Just love that sound.
Yeah. That's why it's called lava bread then. That's the reason for lava bread.
Yeah. I'm going to take most of the sand away from it, and then we open it up just to let the air come in. And, that's good. Okay. It's looking very promising.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Get a good one.
You want to do it?
I'll have a go.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Right. There we go.
Yeah. Beautiful.
My bread children.
Yes. Now we are going to try this inside. I'm going to cut it into slices and serve it with smoked trout from the lake. But it also tastes really good with boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Hot spring boiled eggs. So we're going to one cracked open a little bit. Oh. And
That is the most novel way I've ever seen anyone cook an egg.
and we leave them here for 13 minutes. I mean, look at that.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
It's such a delicate process with such a big space. Just like,
Yeah. Yeah, but this.
it's so delicate.
Yeah.
I love it.
We touch the sand.
Can I touch?
You just feel how hot it is.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's also fun to touch the lake.
Wow. And people just swim in here every morning.
Nah, not every morning. If you want to be swimming out there where the water is colder.
Yeah.
Here is hot spring water coming out.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but still, also, if you look closely in the water, can you see the fish over there, the little fish? This fish is the only fish in the world that has a hot tub, you know.
Yeah.
And okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we're just about done.
So it's actually quite a dangerous area then. I mean, I see you've got a danger hot springs.
Yeah, it's all, quite warm.
The smell of that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Huh.
It's like almost like burnt toffee kind of smell. It's really, really sweet. Yeah. So how can you expect this to taste? What's the taste of this going to be like?
Like it's unique taste for itself, but a lot of our visitors from other countries say it reminds them of like a gingerbread. Really nice texture. It's quite like a heavy bread.
Yeah.
And because it just came from the spring, they're quite warm.
What's the most traditional way to serve this bread?
Exactly like we're doing right now. And you can see how the butter starts to melt right away,
How old is this recipe? How traditional is this?
Well, I've been trying to track it down, and I'm in very late 1800, early 1900, somewhere there. Okay, now we have the hot spring egg here.
That is a perfect looking egg.
Should we try?
Yeah. Cheers? What do we
Cheers,
say?
yeah.
What's the Icelandic term?
Instead of cheers?
Yeah.
Skål.
Skål.
Yeah, skål.
Yeah. It is really sweet. Like gingerbread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well
A
done.
true Viking. This is probably the most wholesome thing I've ever done.